what's up guys, Maniac here. So, continuing on with our Godzilla Marathon reviews, Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. Now actually, I don't have the DVD, even though it's out somewhere, but I just don't have it. I actually heard it's out on Blu-ray. I wonder if that would have the Japanese version, but I did watch this one online again. But this one, just like Invasion of the Astro Monster, I really have nothing to say about this one either. So, I mean, the plot is about, there's this island, and there's like this, group of the bad guys, which I'm not sure they're pirates, or I'm not sure what they are, but they're just bad guys, and they have like this huge island of slaves everywhere. And if one of them like tries to escape the island, then they'll unleash their own monster, Ebirah, which is a giant lobster. I mean, yeah, I wish I was making that up. A giant lobster. And that's like our main villain is a big giant lobster. I'll get to that later. But anyway, so they have their big giant monster, Ebirah, guarding around the island, and whoever escapes, you'll try to find him and like kill the slaves and everything. So the slaves have to find Godzilla, which he is sleeping under a cave. And the weirdest part is that they had this big sword. They stuck it up on top of the mountain thing. And then there was like this bolt lightning thing. It struck the sword, and it was so loud enough, Godzilla wakes up. Like, Godzilla wakes up from the noise, and then he goes out to battle Ebirah, Mothra, also because she also makes a brief cameo in this movie, and of course this weird bird that he fights. I mean, I don't know. So again, I really have not that much to say about this one. I mean, only a few things, just not a lot. I mean, actually, to be honest, this movie is actually pretty much a little bit more boring than any other of the Godzilla movies, except for Godzilla's Revenge and, well, yeah. But basically, it's pretty dull boring, for the most part. Like, you don't get to see Godzilla until, like, an hour in the movie, which, that sucks. Usually, there's always, like, a monster action, like, at least half an hour. But, you know, he doesn't come in until, like, an hour of the movie, which that's gonna be a little bit long to wait. So, yeah. So, I'll just say, like, there's just only a few things I just want to talk about with this one. Like, Mothra comes into this one, because, you know, Mothra's in the island, and the slaves, like, they're the slaves of the tribe of Mothra, but the bad guys captured all of them for, again, slaves. And they try to get Mothra in, but once Mothra was, like, going into the island, and Godzilla fights Mothra and just took her down, it's just like, oh crap, there goes our one monster that will save us. But Godzilla will save us. I don't know. This is weird. I mean, Mothra could have been pointless, but it was cool to see her anyways. Now, there's this one weird battle scene, which, it's actually pretty much one of the worst Godzilla fights ever. I mean, Godzilla fights this big giant bird. I forgot what it was called. I think it was the Condor. I mean, this is a random, I mean, it was just random. That bird just came out of nowhere and starts attacking Godzilla, and I really hate this scene because, you know, the camera is like, was like doing this extra close-up on the bird, like pecking Godzilla, and doing a lot of these jump cuts up to Godzilla's feet, Godzilla's head. He's trying to move, he's trying to get out of his way, and I don't know. It was just such a random scene, and I hated it. It was the worst fight ever. I mean, just, you know, cut to cut shots. It's just so random, and you can't literally see a thing. I mean, that's one thing about action movies I hate about today. Like, if the cameras are so shaky enough that you can't see anything, it gets annoying. And yeah, that's what it kind of describes with that scene, which it's so annoying. So next thing I want to talk about is the monster. Now, Ebirah, the giant lobster, is not one of my favorites because it's a giant freaking lobster. I mean, how can I put this out? I mean, how am I supposed to say this monster is cool even though he's like a freaking lobster? I mean, it just sounds silly when I say it out loud. Godzilla is fighting a giant lobster. That's just... I just want to know, where did they come up with the idea of Godzilla fighting a giant lobster? I mean, what? I don't know. I mean, why not make another Godzilla sequel, but with another seafood that become a monster? Godzilla versus the giant crab, or Godzilla versus a giant octopus. I don't know. It's like one of the most random monsters ever, and there's not really that much I like about Ebirah, because Ebirah, all he does is just, well, he's got claws, but there's just a lot of random moments with him, and I do actually kind of like it how he has claws, and he just, like, he grabs Godzilla and just, like, tries to drown him, which I think is interesting, although I wouldn't say drown, because, you know, Godzilla can breathe underwater. So, yeah. And also, the fight scene is incredibly silly. I mean, if you enjoy silly movies, like, just movies that you just want to laugh, and this is perfect, because there's this one weird moment where Godzilla is just, like, throws a rock at Ebirah, but then Ebirah just, like, slams it like it was volleyball, and yeah, that's the point of this whole scene. They were playing volleyball. Like, Godzilla's just hitting it, and then Ebirah, like, what? It's so ridiculous. I mean, how could they ever oh my god, it's just such a random moment. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's all I have to say with the movie. It's not a great one, neither a bad one, I would say. I would say this one's silly. At least silly enough for anybody who wants to watch movies and laugh. So, yeah, I mean, if you're one of those kind of people, then this movie's for you. But for a general audience, yeah, you can definitely skip this one for the most part. So, yeah, I would give this one a C-. That's what I would give it. So, my ultimate question today is, what do you think of Godzilla versus the Sea Monster? Comment that down below. Check out my other videos, are really cool. Like and subscribe, like my page on Facebook. See ya.